The Body Shop at Home is an MLM, and it has been since 1994. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. Hello everyone, my name is Emma. Today we are going to be talking about The Body Shop. Firstly, I apologise for the inevitable background noise. It is 30 degrees, and I just can't close my windows like I usually do or I will die. If at any point you think I might be crying, that's just sweat dripping down my face. Today we're going to be talking about The Body Shop, which is a weird oxymoron of like the best known and somehow least known MLM related business. Most people know of The Body Shop. It's a chain of shops that sells makeup, skincare, stuff that smells nice that you put on your body. There's also a branch of the business called The Body Shop at Home, which is, yeah, an MLM. It was launched in the UK in 1994, in Canada in 95, in Australia in 97, and in the USA in 2001. So it's been kind of a long time. I want to talk about this because nobody seems to know. I only found out this year. Every time I see somebody talking about it, 99% of the comments are, The Body Shop is an MLM now, despite it having existed for like 26 years. The Body Shop has been an MLM for slightly longer than I've been alive, and I had no idea. It seems to be booming in the wake of the outside bad times virus, just like many MLMs are, because they love to prey on the vulnerable at their most desperate. I know a lot of people like me don't want to support any business that is or works with or stocks MLM products, and that's why I think it's important to highlight the sneakier ones like The Body Shop at Home or Ann Summers. Still gutted about Ann Summers, to be honest. But I have kind of a sneaking suspicion that The Body Shop keeps this quiet on purpose. They don't really talk about the MLM side of things on any of their social media, and anytime I or anyone else I've seen or know asks a question about it, it goes completely unanswered. Even if you ask them something privately on their social media, which I will come back to later, it's just silence. They won't acknowledge it. I suspect it's a simple case of wanting to have your cake and eat it too. In recent years we have proven that blacklisting does work. We have told companies what we as consumers will and won't accept or stand for, and we have gotten problematic products removed or changed, and yes, we have gotten companies to drop partnerships with MLM brands. Businesses can't afford the backlash, and it's no secret that people are becoming more aware of the dangers of MLM and standing against them. But they make corporations a lot of money. So I'm going to break this video down into sections like I did with my unique video. If you haven't seen that, you could go check it out if you feel so inclined. I'll put time codes in the description for each section that we talk about, and then you can jump back and forwards as you like. And as ever, I would like to remind everyone, including myself, that the people involved in these schemes are the victims. There will be no judgment of anyone who has joined these companies. It is not your fault if you sign up to a scheme that promises great benefits for just a little bit of hard work, and most importantly, it is not your fault if you fail. Most people fail. It is not your fault if you get deceived by false promises, although The Body Shop will tell you that it is. We'll come back to that shortly. So I'm going to start with a conclusion. I'm just so quirky. So the fundamental question, should we support The Body Shop? If I had no prior knowledge of MLMs, I wouldn't hesitate to buy Body Shop products from a friend who was selling them. If a friend told me they could get me vanilla chai shower gel at a discount, I would be on that shit immediately. Incidentally, if anybody knows of any good dupes for the vanilla chai range that you get at Christmas, let me know. Granted, I always bought Body Shop products on sale, but that's because I'm cheap, and because I always thought they were overpriced for a high street brand. However, the fact of the matter is, The Body Shop at Home is an MLM. It's not the worst. In fact, I think there are lots of things about it that other MLMs should do, and it would make them a lot less damaging and dangerous. But the reason that MLM sucks is because of the very nature and name of the business model. It is multi-level marketing. And I know, it's not a pyramid scheme. The corporate world is the real pyramid scheme. I know. Don't at me. It's a pyramid-shaped recruitment structure. The nature of MLM drives people to recruit. Any business that encourages you to turn your customers into competitors is not worth engaging in. My red flags when it comes to MLM. Does it push recruitment? Does it encourage people to buy stock? And are there lots of consultants engaging in poor business practices that are not stopped or managed by the company itself? Those are the three main areas we're going to look at. First of all, the primary, joining, and basic financial information. Usually the first thing I do is a breakdown of the average earnings. I can't do that here because The Body Shop at Home does not publish an income disclosure statement. That is a red flag. Should you join a business having no point of reference for how much money you're going to earn? No. Frankly, you deserve better. With zero financial information available to me, I did the only reasonable thing I could do and signed up. I didn't actually sign up. don't at me. I registered my interest so that I could find out more information and hopefully ask some questions. I did this via the Body Shop website, which I actually think is really interesting. I think it's good that you can sign up this way. I'll talk about that more in a minute. First, I want to note this getting started section from the website. Thousands of independent consultants around the world have made this into a full-time gig. Now, I can't find the number of consultants worldwide because for some reason it's really hard to find any data on specifics on the Body Shop at Home. What a mystery. But the Body Shop website does say the Body Shop at Home has over 10,000 independent consultants throughout the UK alone. Assuming there are a much larger number worldwide, I don't know about you, but like a small percentage of our consultants earn a livable wage. Is like not really selling it to me. I guess it's in the delivery. I also cringe at this phrase on the sign up page. You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. Where have I heard that phrase before? Oh right, it's every MLM ever. The Body Shop is so unique and different. It's not like other MLMs, except for all of them. Then at the bottom of the main page there's this tiny small print that says, it is illegal for a promoter or a participant in a trading scheme. It is a scheme, they even call it a scheme. If you message me to tell me it's not a scheme, you're wrong because they say it is, ha ha ha. It is illegal for a promoter or a participant, that was really childish, sorry. It's illegal for a promoter or a participant in a trading scheme to persuade anyone to make a payment by promising benefits from getting others to join a scheme, aka you can't tell people that they can only make money through recruitment. It doesn't say that you can't only make money through recruitment, just that you can't tell people that that's what you do, because then that makes it a pyramid scheme. Do not be misled by claims that high earnings are easily achieved. In order to join the Body Shop at Home, you must sign our consultant agreement and purchase our starter kit, blah blah blah, £49. This is great to have on the main page. I think it should be much bigger and more accessible to read, and maybe it's my eyesight, but I had to zoom all the way in to actually see this shit. But at least it does technically say on their main page that it might not be easy to make a lot of money. But here we do also have the Body Shop officially telling you to not be misled, as if it's your fault for missing this tiny bit of small print to the bottom of the website if the person representing the Body Shop who signs you up lies to you about your potential earnings. Okay, talk about victim blaming. So I guess when the Body Shop gave my details to my local area manager, and he assured me that I would make my quota super easy and even become a manager really quickly, if I had believed him and then failed, that would have been my fault for being misled, for allowing myself to be misled. Thanks Body Shop, your support is really appreciated. So I do think it's interesting and a good thing that you can join via the website. Most companies require you to be recruited. I've looked at IntelliTravel, I've looked at FM World, all of them, you can't join unless you find a sponsor. They'll probably give you alternative ways to find a sponsor, but you can't join directly. I feel like this means there's a slightly higher chance that people will be better informed when they sign up, because some people are signing up after actually reading all the material and making the choice to sign up. However, you still can get recruited by literally anyone who has signed up, and even if you do join via the website, you still get an upline. You're just given to your local area manager. Signing up this way made my potential upline my local area manager, who I will call Doug. Not his real name. I don't want anyone to look him up and be mean to him. He's already had to deal with me, we don't want to make his life worse. So Doug was very kind and enthusiastic about my signing up. Unfortunately, it's very hard in these situations to know how much of what someone is saying is genuine, because there is financial gain for them to be had if you sign up under them. There's no loss for them. There's no potential loss even if they sign you up. There's only potential to gain. Still, he was very nice and he did answer a lot of my questions, although he also kept sending me the sign up link even when I still had questions and told him I was unsure, which was a bit pressure. Like, I'm not ready to commit 50 quid to this yet, Doug, give me a little bit of space. He sent me this basically PowerPoint presentation, which is pretty clean looking and nice, but it is written in a complicated way. Now, I don't think I'm stupid. Well, in some ways, yes. But in general, in this situation, I think I'm pretty representative of the average layman. I have some knowledge of buying and selling and limited exposure to the retail world, but I have no education in or exposure to finance or business running or management, and I think that's likely true for most people who would be interested in this opportunity. When I read this, I don't feel like it was written for me. It reads like it's for somebody who already knows this information or has the appropriate business acumen and knowledge of the language. It uses language that I as a layman do not understand and have never heard before, and it doesn't explain it anywhere. Now, I don't know whether that was intentional, there's no way of knowing that, so I'm not going to assert that here, but it has been found by companies in the past that they will use overcomplicated language to mislead or confuse the people that are signing up. That's not necessarily what this is, but it's worth noting. So, it's £49 to join. Contents of starter kit may vary. I don't know what that means, but I'm not buying one to find out. As a consultant, you get base 25% commission. That's actually not at all bad. Sales commission generally pays something like 10 to 25%, so it's at the top end of the scale, and that's definitely a point in its favour. Granted, you have your running from home costs, any materials for marketing you have to make or purchase yourself because these companies don't provide any of that for you. That's probably part of why they save so much money when they have at-home consultants. So the commission is pretty good. Then you get bonuses for personal sales, and as you climb the ranks you get bonuses for group sales, people that are working in your team, i.e. under you, and eventually a car program. It looks like there might be some tasty cash available if you are good at recruiting. Good segue me. Okay, let's examine red flag number 1 of my dodgy work from home scheme avoidance plan, which is, does the Body Shop at Home push recruitment? Yes, 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 it does. First of all, and simplest of all, you need more people below you in order to climb the ranks. And in order to make more money, you need to climb the ranks. That's pretty clear incentive. To become an area manager, the first step on the pyramid, ladder, I said ladder, you need to have 7 people on your team, and your team has to make £3,500 between you. And then you get access to those delicious bonuses. To move higher in the ranks from there, you don't need to have any more members in your personal team, but some of your team members need to be leaders, which means they have to have recruited 7 people. To be a senior area manager, you need to have 2 managers on your team, which means 2 people on your team of 7 need to have recruited a minimum of 7. This is about to become a maths problem, and I apologise because I'm terrible at maths. Please correct me in the comments if you find I've done something fucked up. I'm going to aim for minimum values because I don't want to estimate. It's unfair to estimate the very top amount that they are likely to have recruited. So we're going to say the minimum number of people each person needs to recruit, and that's how we're going to work this out. So let's jump to the top, because if you're doing this, you're aiming for the top, right? That's what's encouraged. Why would you start to be like, I think I want to end somewhere like near the bottom third, even though that is most likely what's going to happen. So let's say you want to become a presidential director. I'm sorry, I love the titles in these MLMs and the way they always try and come up with more for the more steps on the pyramid. It's like, it could be worse. Like the girlier MLMs are all like super diamond boss babe. But in this case, the top one is your presidential director. It sounds really impressive. Wouldn't you just love that job title? This is going to get really complicated, so please stay with me. By the way, at first I had no clue what legs meant in this scenario, but I'm pretty sure actually it means the subsequent downline that that person needs to qualify their position. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nothing is explained in this document. So, to be a presidential director, you need 3 personal recruits. That's people you've recruited yourself. The downlines of your recruits don't count there, so that's 3. Although to get to this point, you had to have recruited 7 minimum, so it's sort of redundant. But I guess by now, those 7 people could have, you know, quit and been replaced by others, so sure. Whatever. You need 2 newly qualified or paid as regional directors plus legs. So let's take a look at what a regional director needs. A regional director needs 3 personal consultants, 6 in the central team, 3 regional managers, 7 managers, and so then that's times 2 because we need two regional directors. So they need 3 regional managers. So what does a regional manager need? A regional manager needs 3 personal recruits, 7 in the team, 14 total qualified or paid as managers. Since this is total, thank God, we don't need to work out every single person down the line. So let's just look at what you need to be a manager. Let's assume that these managers are the level 1 area managers, and just note that the numbers could be higher than I'm predicting, because you could easily have a bigger downline. We're just going to go for the absolute minimum. I don't have the spoons to do those kind of sums, and so we're back to our standard 7 recruits, 3 of those needing to be personal recruits. So 14 of those who each have a downline of 7. That means to be a regional manager, you will have a minimum of 98 people in your downline. Okie dokie. And the regional director needs 3 regional managers. I can feel people skipping ahead. Regional director, 3 regional managers, that's 294. But you also need 7 first level managers, which is 49 between them because they need 7 each. So that's 343. but you actually need 2 regional directors, so that's 686 plus 3, because you can't forget your 3 personal recruits. So low estimate, that's only 689 people below you to reach the top sales bracket. That was a lot of numbers, so let's sideline into some personal anecdotes for a bit of relief. I spoke to a number of active consultants to ask how their businesses were going, because I have no frame of reference for how much money people are making, except for this one area manager who is an area manager and therefore makes quite a lot of money. They all said it was going quite well, even the people who had Facebook groups with about 5 people in and little to no engagement on all of their posts. Maybe they do big business on Instagram, I don't know. I was looking on Facebook. But every single one tried to, or rather offered to recruit me. Every single one. Why? Are they all reaching for the lofty goals of management ranks? I think probably not. And why do I say that? Well, because there's a monthly recruitment bonus for every single person you bring in. You get this recruitment bonus whatever level you are. Even if you're the lowest tier, have no idea what you're doing, have made no money and you've barely started, you still can get a recruitment bonus for getting people onto your team and getting people into the business. You get a cash bonus increasing in size with every new person that you recruit, up to £60, and then after that point you get £60 for every person you recruit. There is no limit to the amount of recruits each month a consultant may introduce, and a bonus is paid for every qualified recruit. Did someone say market saturation? Now the good thing, relatively speaking, is that the new recruits do have to qualify as a consultant before you actually get paid the bonus. So you can't just go adding people willy-nilly who might immediately quit just to get the money. You won't get the money by doing that. They have to actually be active for the first commission period. Still, it's in your best financial interest to recruit as many people as possible, because then you cast a wider net of people who are likely to succeed, and then you get more monthly bonuses. And as The Body Shop says, there is no limit to the extra money you could make by recruiting, so the incentive is there to just keep recruiting. Alright, I think we have covered recruitment. I am exhausted already, and sweaty. So sweaty. Does the business encourage people to buy stock? Yes. Not verbally. No MLM says on their website in big letters, you should buy loads of your own product. They don't do that because they understand that that's a bad thing and also associated with pyramid schemes. However, uplines do. They do say that because they rely on you making enough personal retail volume to stay active to make money for them in their sales team bonuses. And while you don't make any money on sales that you buy yourself because you're losing money because you're spending it on products, your uplines will make the same amount of money whether it's you buying it or somebody else buying it. It doesn't matter. And therefore there's no reason that this is less likely to happen with The Body Shop than it is to happen with any other MLM. It's the exact same problem they all face. You have to make a personal sales quota every commission period to stay active. The commission period is 2 months. Side note, at the moment you can get immediately reinstated if you become inactive. They've done this because of bad virus times, which fair enough, that's quite nice. But we're talking about in general and how it usually operates, and generally you cannot become active again once you've become inactivated. So to stay a consultant, you need to make a total of £150 in sales over 2 commission periods, so 2 months. And for any rank above that, you need £600 in personal sales as well as your combined team sales. How regularly can you sell bath and body products to the same group of customers, especially when you're encouraged to recruit those customers, and they can find the exact same products and more products with higher availability in stores and online who both offer discounts? It's going to be a hard sell. It's going to be a hard push to make those sales goals, though not according to Doug. More and more people are becoming consultants with access to exactly the same range of products that you have. So it's quite likely that people aren't going to make their sales goals at least some of the time. And what can you do if you're not making your sales goal and you don't have much time left and you want to stay active? You can buy stock. Yes, that is a personal choice. And no, The Body Shop itself hasn't personally advocated for it. But do they safeguard against it? Do they have a way of tracking how much of your personal sales goes to you as a consultant versus an end consumer? And if it was, were they doing anything to limit or place restrictions on that so that people have to sell to others instead of just buying stock themselves? No, there's nothing in place to prevent or discourage this from happening. And if you think nobody in The Body Shop does stock up on products, like maybe they just buy a couple because they like the products or whatever, you need to talk to this lady. Makeup and beauty products, especially the more organic, natural, more cruelty-free. They have less preserving shit in them, which is in general a good thing, but it also means that the products have an expiry date, and a shorter expiry date than many products would. So if you buy stock and you can't sell it in time, you've lost out. It's not like you can hold on to these products forever because they expire. Let's talk about our third and final flag, the one that we tragically probably have the most experience with: bad business practices. Now, again, these are the actions of individuals, and even those individuals are probably posting lots of things without knowing whether they're misleading. A lot of these MLM consultants copy and use each other's work because we know that they do, because you see the same posts by different people, and also I'm in loads of posting groups. So as ever, we are condemning the actions and not the people. That aside, by virtue of me finding it on the internet and it being publicly available, we can safely say that the Body Shop has not taken any action to intervene when misleading information is being spread in their name. Now, you might say that policing tens of thousands of at-home consultants posting all over the internet is just too big a job for a company to handle. And you would be right. In my opinion, that is not an excuse to let bad shit slide, but rather a reason that having an MLM business is not ethically viable. What do I know? I'm just an egg. So let's start with Doug, my lovely local area manager, and his promises that, if we recall the Body Shop website, are my fault for believing if they turn out to be untrue. So the "that's good" is in response to him telling me that their offers are always better than in-store discounts. I don't know if that's true. That is good if it is true. I don't have a way of verifying, and the catalogue on the homepage actually lists everything as RRP, so who knows? I assume that's true. It's my bad either way, right? So Doug's response to the question of market saturation is, you would think that would be the case, but friends tell friends and your business will just forever be building. Kiss kiss. He's got no way to know or prove that that will happen, and by rights, he should be warning me before I sign up about the risk to my investment, because this is a business investment. It might be small in the scale of business investments, but it still is one, and he has an obligation, in theory, to warn me that I might not make any money, like the Body Shop website does. But if he did that, I might not sign up, and then he wouldn't make any money, so why would he do that? Here's another example from Doug of some very well-known MLM rhetoric when I was asking him about becoming inactive. So he's talking about making the required amount each month. It's 150 for 2 months, so it's 75 each month. 75 a month is easy. You will do that. It's absolutely minor. And then the second part, it's just those who don't. This is a half-formed sentence that he doesn't complete, which irritates me a little bit. Like, because he speaks perfectly fine the rest of the time. It's like he's rushed this bit just to be like, don't even worry about it. It's just those people who don't do anything. It's just so that those people... And then he leaves the sentence hanging. Super irritating. But what he's implying, and what many MLMs imply, is that the only way to fail is to not work hard enough. If you failed, you just didn't put the work in, you didn't put the hours in, you didn't try hard enough. It's just those people don't. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna work hard and try hard, so you will make money. And then when you inevitably don't, you just didn't work hard enough. This is so harmful, not just to people's businesses, because it encourages this sunk cost fallacy mindset where you just think that if you keep working hard you will eventually make your money back, but also just to people's personal well-being and mental health, thinking that you must be a failure, and it's not because of the tiny success rate, it's because you just didn't work hard enough. I hate this rhetoric. It makes me really sad. And every MLM pushes this line, even though we know for a fact statistically that you are far more likely to fail than succeed in these businesses. I'll post a link down below to a more recent study by the AARP. It sounds unrelated. It's a US charity or organisation that focuses on protecting the elderly, but you know how these schemes affect people who are more vulnerable, so it makes sense. These results are actually more favourable than most studies we've seen, but basically they found that 75% of people broke even or made a loss, and about 25% of people made a profit. And even that isn't necessarily a profit worth writing home about. Like, we've all seen the posts where boss babes post their incomes and what their jobs are paying for, and when you look at how many hours they do, they're basically working for way below minimum wage. Back to Doug and his assurances that I will definitely succeed and make these sales goals no problem, I would like to refer him back to the Body Shop website where, in their small print, they explain that that's not true, and it's entirely possible to fail, to make little to no money, and to not reach those goals. and I have read several reviews from former consultants that basically say just as much. Let's have a look at a couple of reviews now. I'm just going to skim through these. I'll include them all in the description. Everything that I have talked about and everything that I think is interesting and relevant, I'll put in the description so you can read in full in your own time if you're so interested. So one woman here says, once I had finished the Body Shop, I can honestly say I was around £500 out of pocket. And here's another. This was quite a long one, but I'll just summarise. I was a Body Shop at home consultant and had to quit recently as they owe me money and are impossible to contact. I have 2 emails awaiting a response in my outbox that would agree with you. I think the biggest warning is how quickly and easily you can be given the title of manager. I noticed this as well, and Doug himself said how easy it would be. It really is a ploy to make you feel empowered when really all you are is a salesperson. I started doing it because I liked the products and wanted them for cheap, but you have the constant pressure to recruit, and with so many items being reserved for the stores, 50% of the catalogue is always out of stock, so your customers really do notice. I know so many consultants who end up going to the actual store to buy products to sell on, making no commission at all. Let's talk about misleading sales posts. So when I was looking into this, I hung out in a couple of Body Shop at Home groups. Don't say I never do anything for you. Lots of them are extremely similar, by which I mean virtually empty with little to no engagement. Most of the people that are engaging are family members, and there are also lots of posts where the consultant has just bought all these gorgeous products because they're such a fan, and definitely not because they need to make their sales goals to stay active. So this first one actually comes from the Facebook Messenger group that Doug added me to, which was terrifying because I had not agreed to anything or signed up. Thanks for the group pressure, Doug. Hey, does anyone know of anything else which is good for this post? And then there's a day 1 to 5. For some reason, backwards. That also really annoys me. It starts in the middle and goes like across, and then it goes back left and down, and then the final one is all the way to the furthest left. It's just badly put together. But either way, you can see the results are quite good. It's a enticing post. She wants to find a product that has similar results to the photos on that post so that she can pretend that those results photos are from this different product. Knowing that this consultant is willing to apply results photos to a product that wasn't used makes me suspicious that even these 2 pictures, this product and these before and afters, are related. Honestly, all MLM results pictures should be treated with a high degree of skepticism because there is no way to verify that they've not been manipulated, that the person in the photos wasn't using a different product or service, or that the photos haven't just been taken from somebody else, which we all know that these MLMs do because, as discussed earlier, we see them pop up everywhere and I'm in the posting groups and I see them sharing them. So that should put you off joining if that's one of the first things you see when you get added to your team, is nobody giving a shit about the amount of dishonesty here because it's just normalised. MLM sucks you into this fake it till you make it mentality, even when it's the Body Shop. Now let's talk about soap. This one confused and annoyed me because I wasted a lot of time looking things up that are pretty obvious. Sales have been pushed harder than ever in recent times because of the bad times virus. We've seen them all soaring. We know that MLMs like to use tragedy and world events to push their own agenda and make sales. Unfortunately, the Body Shop at Home is no different. So we have several of these posts where essentially this person has put up a picture of some bar soaps, some nice scented Body Shop bar soaps, and they're writing about people have ordered them to donate them to NHS staff. So people are buying the soaps from her, and then instead of giving them to the customers, she's donating them to the NHS. And she's specifically aiming to donate these to the maternity department at UHCW as a thank you and to gently cleanse their hard-working hands at this difficult time. First of all, donating to a local hospital is admirable. The way that this person writes, for all intents and purposes, I totally believe that this person is a sweet, kind person who genuinely wants to give something back and thinks that this is a great way of doing it. But I will say, UHCW accepts monetary donations. With no commission taken, the hospital would make far more money if this person asked the same number of people and the same number of friends and family to donate the price of a bar of soap without actually buying anything, and then they could donate that all and everyone would be better off. I understand that offering a physical item feels more personal and like a nice thing to do, but the NHS needs money. But the only difference here between donating directly and donating via this consultant is that the consultant gets commission. And maybe she donated her commission. I don't know her. Like I said, she seems genuinely sweet and to want to do a good deed. But the point remains that there is no way to know. And the only way to guarantee that the hospital gets exactly the amount that you personally want to donate is to donate directly. And there is no reason to have to go through a Body Shop at Home consultant to give money to the NHS. There's no need to risk them getting less or something useless, which I'll come to in a second, when you could just go directly. The second thing, NHS workers don't want a gentle cleanse. They want a deep antibacterial clean. Thirdly, but also sort of related to the second point, the NHS don't want bar soaps. They use liquid soap and alcohol gel for a reason. Bar soap is the worst thing to use when you're trying to limit infections. Like, there is a virus on the loose. We're trying to not keep in contact with certain things, and basically, yeah, bar soap is the worst thing you could use in this time. In a place absolutely full of people, many of whom are ill, you do not want to be using the soap with the highest infection risk. I googled NHS bar soaps for clarity. That's another weird thing that is now in my internet search history. And yeah, the listings are basically all: bar soap has a higher bacterial count than liquid soap, bar soap must not be used by staff, bars of soap are not suitable for clinical staff due to risk of contamination. I also got it directly from an NHS worker who works in a maternity ward, and she confirmed that no, they do not use bar soaps, because of course they don't. Whenever you've been to the hospital, have you ever seen a bar of soap? No, you've seen liquid soap in the bathrooms and sanitizing alcohol gel stations by the doors. That's how it works, because bars of soap aren't good. Now, I absolutely don't blame the people making these posts. You cannot fault somebody for wanting to donate to the NHS and make a difference. I think it's very lovely and admirable, but you have some obligation to do your due diligence. And like I said, I spent 2 minutes on Google and basically verified that the products that you're donating are things that they don't want and are basically useless to them. But the donation scheme itself was started by the company, the Body Shop. It wasn't started by, this isn't consultants going off on their own and deciding to do this. This was a drive pushed by the Body Shop. And if you're a consultant, of course it makes sense that you would assume that the massive corporation you work for has done their due diligence. It makes sense to me that I'm not judging anyone for not researching this independently, basically, because if your company says to you, this is what we're donating, it's going to be brilliant and help everyone and help save lives, you're going to be like, yay, brilliant. You're not going to be like, oh, but is it? I better go away and study because I don't trust the company that I work for. If you're in an MLM, that is probably how you should be behaving, but to actually work for these companies you have to have some level of trust with them, and I completely understand why people wouldn't do that. So as I see it, there are two possible explanations here. One is that the Body Shop isn't actually donating pretty scented bar soap, and that they're donating some sort of monetary equivalent with the price of bar soaps, and the consultants have just misunderstood. That would be bad because the Body Shop has done nothing to correct this misunderstanding, and people have been donating without knowing what they're actually donating or being misled on what they are donating. It's also spreading misunderstanding about the kind of things that NHS hospitals will accept and would want. The second possibility is that the Body Shop themselves are uninformed. That would essentially mean that they just picked a product, coincidentally one of the cheapest products that they sell, and decided to run with it. That would be bad because everything about that is bad. In one of the Body Shop groups I followed, I spotted a consultant comparing the RRP of one product, the recommended retail price of one product, with the sale price of a Body Shop alternative. That's a misleading comparison. I pointed out that that was a misleading comparison because I can't help myself. I just love consumer protection. I pointed out that this is a misleading comparison, and that you can actually see just by Googling the higher priced RRP product, you can actually now find it in many places for about the same price as the Body Shop alternative. And to her credit, she removed the post, but then she blocked me from her sales group and private messaged me to accuse me of trying to ruin her business. Like they always do, because MLMs drive home this inability to take criticism. This is one of the biggest problems with MLMs, in my personal opinion. Because they're trained to act in this fake it till you make it way, they cannot handle any negativity and it just gets deleted and we all act like it never happened. And why? You have to think about why would a complete stranger want to ruin your business? I want people to succeed. I want people to do well. I want people to be happy and safe. I don't want people to spread misinformation. I want to protect the business owners, but I want to protect the consumers as well, because if you purchase something, if you buy something due to misinformation, that is the fault of the consultant who has sold it to you. They are responsible for being honest about the products that they sell. And yes, it is another flaw of these MLMs that they don't train people. They don't require people to be trained on the products. They don't have to know anything about sales. They don't have to know anything about, honestly, good practices. Creepy ice cream van's back. And so first of all, how fragile is your business that one single vaguely negative comment freaks you out and you feel like could topple the entire thing? If you can't let a single naysayer be visible anywhere around your business, how fragile is that? Especially when it's just some nobody like me saying, I think this is misleading, on a post that 5 people maximum will see. It's just not that big of a deal, but they act like it is because positive vibes only, and they are taught to remove and cut out anyone who disagrees with them. Kind of like a cult. And second of all, how awesome is it when brands take accountability and take responsibility for the things that they have done? How often do brands change their products or remove things because of consumer backlash? Showing your audience that you can deal with a problem and own up to it and rectify it rebuilds trust. You cannot trust them if they won't acknowledge any negativity. On the subject of accountability, I had a couple of questions regarding the Body Shop at Home that I was really hoping to have answered for you today. One thing was about the NHS soap thing, because I am genuinely perplexed. If anybody genuinely knows the answer to that, and if it's option 1 or 2, do let me know. I actually messaged their live chat customer support and asked, and he gave me an email address to send that question to, so I've done that, and it's sitting unanswered, sadly, in my inbox at the moment. Actually, while I was talking to that chat agent, I had a little grumble about how the Body Shop had kind of ignored every question I posted on their social media, and he told me that if I have been ignored, I can send a screenshot of that to their customer relations and log a complaint. Thank you, Vladimir, I will do that. He was actually great. I gave him 5 stars. It's kind of frustrating that the customer service was so helpful and lovely. There is so much to love about this brand. I would be so up for supporting it if it wasn't for this MLM branch that they have. So as we stand now, I apologise, but I have heard nothing back from corporate. I will update. If we get anything particularly interesting, I will do a little update video. Otherwise, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That's usually where I stick useful information and updates. In conclusion then, the concluding conclusion, the main question people seem to have about the Body Shop is it as bad as other MLMs? Should I support it? Because people like the products. People have known the brand all their lives. In my personal opinion, no, we should not support the Body Shop. And I don't. Looking at the major ways in which MLMs are dangerous, really pushing recruitment, encouraging stock buying, engaging in bad business practices, the Body Shop ticks all of my red flags. It ticks all of my boxes. I understand if you really like the Body Shop and you don't want to stop using their products. I know how difficult it can be to find something that works with both your skin and your morals. I will say there are loads of animal friendly and environmentally friendly alternatives, but I don't hold it against you at all if you want to continue using Body Shop products. That's not a problem for me. In terms of becoming a consultant, I don't think personally that it is ethically or financially responsible to become a Body Shop at Home consultant. However, if you have watched this and done all your own research and you still want to join, or you're on the fence, firstly, thank you for doing your due diligence. I usually advise that the first thing you do is look at a company's income disclosure statement. In this case, we cannot do that. So with that not being available for the Body Shop at Home, I really first recommend looking up the reviews of people who have been consultants. The problem when you're being recruited, even if it's by a friend, is that there is such an incentive to recruit. I'm not saying you shouldn't trust your friend. They probably genuinely want you to join and succeed because that is the way they make more money from you, but they aren't given any kind of training. They aren't required to disclose financial information with you or even point you in the direction of the disclaimer that says it's entirely possible that you won't make any money. Because of the nature of the business and the mindset that these corporations push, they are taught to fake it till you make it, and therefore you simply have to be skeptical about the promises that they make and the success that they are having. You should always do your own independent research, read reviews before you give any money to any kind of work from home personal business scheme. And if you are a consultant or you still want to become one because you feel like you can really make it work for you, I ask you to please just be considerate of others when you are thinking about recruiting. Remember that even if you are an amazing salesperson and this really works for you, you've had all the success in the world and you really want your friends and family to do the same, you must remember that you are in the minority. If you're making a decent profit, you are the minority, and there is no guarantee. In fact, it's far more likely that the people you recruit will barely break even or make a loss. It is your obligation to properly inform anyone who might want to join under you of the risk of not making a profit and even making a loss. So that was long. I'm sorry, I really don't know how to make these videos shorter when we deep dive into a company like this and I want to get all the information out there. I just don't want to skip over anything. Links to everything I've mentioned and some extra reading are in the description, so check that out if you are interested. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. There will be more anti-MLM content on the way. Do check out my unique video if you haven't seen it already. I also do lots of silly and fun videos. I just did one where I read out some of the worst messages I've got in online dating. I think that's pretty fun. You can check that out if you like. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment with your thoughts and anything you would like me to cover in future, and I will see you very soon.